Everybody, welcome to the new episode of the Purtee Show. Still getting a little settled into the new place. Still don't have the studio set up, so I do apologize for that. But I do think you might dig the Great Dictator poster behind me, because I think it's awesome. Just like Terry Moore is on the program today, third time on the show. Happy to have him. Big fan of Rachel Rising. Just picked up the Strangers in Paradise Omnibus. It's on the bookshelf. I'm not going to get up because I'm lazy. And that's just really the way it is. So I'm not going to yammer on too long, because you guys are here for him, not me. So we'll get right to it. Here's Terry Moore. All right, so Terry, this is the third episode you've been on. If you're
nice.
counting,
I didn't realize that. Yeah,
you're like those people on SNL who who've been on there for like 10, 15 times. I don't know. I think John Goodman was one, and Alec Baldwin. I don't know who these people are.
well, good. I'm the Tina Fey of comics.
Yeah, you got better hair though.
That's the first I've ever been told that.
So the big thing is now before you were. I think you were on before the announcement about Rachel Rising with the TV.
Okay.
What's going on with that now?
They have they're working on a script, and we should actually see a script really soon, like within the next week or two. And once they get that in hand, then they can go forward and find people and get people attached to it. I'm a little nervous. I can't wait to see the script. Since I didn't write it, I don't know how the script's going to be. It may be fantastic, more than I ever dreamed of, or it could be now a story about a boy and his dog. I don't know.
Or it could also be about Ichabod Crane, which is my my segue into that. I know you were pretty vocal on Twitter about Sleepy Hollow.
Yeah, that first episode bummed me out. There's a guy climbing out of a grave from 200 years ago to go find out what happened, and there's a witch involved. So, oh boy.
What was your? I mean, like you said, you were bummed out, but what was like when you're watching this? I mean, what was going through your mind?
You know what? I was thinking about a Dave Sim quote. Dave Sim once said, "It is entirely possible to be pecked to death by ducks." So I get something. If you put ideas out there, it's a free market, so people, borrow. And I'm not saying those guys did. I'm sure they've had that script written for a couple of years, but Rachel started a couple of years ago too. So I don't know. It's let's go with. Minds think alike. There's only so many tropes we can play with.
I suppose, but I mean, this is NBC of all networks, really. I mean, come on, NBC, really, NBC. I mean, you screwed up. First, NBC screws up by giving Leno the Tonight Show to begin with.
Oh, we're gonna go there, are we?
We are gonna. We are gonna. I was just watching Carson's American Masters from PBS, and. It's probably not a good idea.
I'm with you on that. I kind of see where you're going, and for the next 100 miles, I'm with you.
Okay, good. Now, do you have a network for the pilot, or no?
They have been biting at it and everything, but Alcon is holding off on that so that they can keep creative control and just maintain the producers of it. If you get a network involved too soon, then they get to call the shots, right? And nobody wants that.
Well, if there was one network that you wanted to have call the shots, which one would you? If you had your druthers, which would you take?
I don't know if that's wise for me to say, but I'm not a producer. Well, I am a producer. I probably shouldn't say that. I probably shouldn't answer that. But I think that, there are definitely a couple of networks that we all are very fond of because they have some very popular shows right now. And they've been loyal to them. They don't cancel them in the first year, and they let them get their footing and things like that. So there's a couple of really great networks.
Well, if anybody pays attention to television at all, they know exactly what network you're talking about, because I sure do. 10.3 million people know what you're talking about. But yeah, I was shocked by the numbers for that. But
Yeah.
yeah, so
I was also shocked by the numbers for the video game that just came out.
oh, Grand Theft Auto 5.
Grand Theft Auto. Wow.
Yeah, that's I
Jeez.
I don't understand it. I
That's
mean,
huge.
and it's funny because at the shop I go to, we're always talking about how much books are going up in price and how hard they are to find.
Yeah.
And somebody recently sold a Hulk 181, and they were like, "Oh, you got to get it graded and all this other kind of stuff." But the one book we always go back to talking about is Rachel Rising, and how getting issue 1 is impossible now, and it's just skyrocketing in the price guide and this, that, and the other thing. How does that feel to be to you know I don't want to call it an indie, but it kind of is an indie because it's not in a weird way. You know where I'm going with this, because it's
Yeah,
not.
I'm definitely indie. You know, I'm the Moby of comics. I mean, it's I'm not on any award shows. I mean, that's definitely a lone wolf thing. But so it's really good to have some recognition, even if it's you know, falsely bumped up by TV rumors and all that. I don't know if that would be the case without the TV chat, but you know, I don't know. Really, that stuff happens without me because I'm always about producing the next new book. So what happens in the aftermarket? It's fun to watch if it's good,
Right.
but you know, I'm not benefiting from it or capitalizing on it. If everybody wants to go crazy over a number one issue, have at it.
Yeah, because the owner of the shop has been talking about bringing in his own comics to sell, and he's like, "Well, Ron, is there any books that you're looking for?" Like, well, I mean, Journey into Mystery number 83 would be nice, but apparently the first appearance of Thor is rather pricey. I don't know why. You know, did you know that Avengers number 4 is worth less than the first appearance of Thor?
Yes, there are several syndromes like that.
That's crazy. Cap's
Yeah.
first modern day appearance is worth only like $1,700. I
Yeah.
don't know if it's, but what are we talking about money for? We got awesome stuff going on here. I have a question from the shop. Actually, they would like to know. They heard rumors that the trade paperbacks that just came out for Rachel Rising are limited to a certain number. Is that the case?
Well, I print a certain number, and when I need more, I go back and reprint. So they're always in print.
All right. Well, there you go. See.
Yeah, I don't print, 20,000. I print about 5,000 at a time, and we anticipate when they're going to run out and print some more. And one thing I don't do is I never put in what printing I'm on trades anymore. So you never know which printing you're getting because it doesn't matter. It's a trade.
Exactly.
So it may seem like I would run out, but I'm always reprinting. I'm not. It's like being a cookie maker. I'm going to make another batch of cookies. There's not just one batch of Oreos.
Well, I hope not, because I really like Oreos and Rachel Rising. So I
So
don't.
we'll make more.
Yeah, I don't eat them while I'm reading it though, because that's just weird to eat Oreos while you're reading a comic book. I don't know, but now with the book being in full swing, what are some things you can tell us about what's coming up without spoiling anything?
Nothing. Everything is a spoiler. The only thing I can tell you is I'm really into it. I've always pictured issue 24 as being the stopping point for this first arc, this Lilith versus Rachel arc. And I'm still on track for that, I think. I'm on track. So issue 25 will start a new arc. And I'm thinking that 1 through 24 will get collected into one big book. And that'll be one nice big fat story. Like my hero fables do. They'll get a story arc and then that's a book.
All right. Okay. So now, would you say issue 25 is a good jumping on point for somebody who hasn't been reading and wants to start?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Because I'll definitely reintroduce things and it'll be a new day, but it's the same group that we're left with. So yeah, I realized that it got hard to jump on in the middle of this big long arc that I've been on, but I can't help it. You know what I mean? It's like a TV series. I mean, at some point you've got to just keep committing. And
Right.
I can't start fresh with every issue because then you're like those old comic strips where the first panel was wasted reprising the last strip.
Exactly. Exactly. Now, you said that 1 through 24 is going to get collected, so people will, be able to read the whole thing in one lump sum. Uh, with the book as a whole, do you have an end game in mind?
Yeah, I do. When I originally started, this was going to be one long 24 issue arc series, and then I was going to stop. I was to be about as long as Echo, which was 30. Mm-hmm. And as I was working, it just seemed to really click and get popular, and I was having a lot of fun. And then the TV thing happened. So now, if the TV show hit, I would be stupid to stop. So I realized that, I could go to my original idea after this arc, which was just to have her living in this town, and things continue to happen. Really, this whole story arc is just setting her up to be in this town, in the town of Manson, and just kind of get a setting. And then once I have a setting and she's set up, I've got a lot of ideas of what else goes on. I mean, it's a pretty wicked little town. There's a lot of crap going on that we could explore. So I'm certainly not short of ideas. I think it could handle it. And I'm willing to go on, and see where it ends up.
Okay. And the last question I have for you, because it seems to be a big hot button issue, at least from where I'm sitting, is what advice would you give to somebody who's just starting out writing or doing the art or drawing?
It depends on what they want to do. If they want to work on a popular character, then your mission is clear. Learn everything, read all the books that have come out about that character. Like say, for instance, your goal is to be the Batman artist or writer. Well, clearly the bar has been set. The Bible is out there to read. There's one editor that will get you that job or keep you from having that job. So your goals are obvious. If you want to be an indie guy, girl or guy, then nobody is stopping you. The minute you draw a comic and put it online, you're in comics. If you're posting comics online, you're just like the rest of us. So then it depends on what you think of as making it. If you want to be in comics, you're in comics the minute you start making them and posting them. What you think of as making it is up to you after that. So, I just encourage them to not think of the world as putting up blockades. There's really nobody stopping you from doing what you want to do. Just go for it.
Sound advice.
I didn't say you could make a living off of
it. Well, the truth hurts sometimes. People need to realize that. One more thing I want to ask you, because I see it behind you. What are you working on back there?
Oh, you're not supposed to be looking at that.
I can't see what it is, but...
That's a page of Rachel.
Woo!
So let's see.
What issue is that?
This is issue 21.
Okay.
And there's an innocuous page that you can look at. So
no spoilers.
You guys don't even have 20 yet, and I'm working on 21, so I get confused about what I can say.
Well, that pretty much summed up everything. You don't have to say anything more. Terry, it's been a real blast. When the collection comes out for 1 through 24, we'll have to have you back on.
Sounds great. Thanks. Appreciate it, Ron.
No problem. So there you have it. Next week, hopefully, we'll have the studio set up. I'm not sure what's going on. It's Halloween coming up, and you know me. I love Halloween, so I might be too busy trying to scare the shit out of little kids. I don't know. But next week on the program, Eric England, director of Madison County, Contracted, Roadside, and so much other things. I don't know them all off the top of my beanie-encased head. So that's it. Don't forget, at Ron Purtee, ronpurtee.com, all the fun stuff. And I want to give a quick shout-out to Shaggy Jenkins. Every time you watch the show, you see his awesome intro, and I want to thank him so much for that. It really is kick-ass, and it helps add the professionalism to the show that I lack. So, we will see you next week. Sleep well, kids.